They got special stickers at school. One mom shared a photo with us. Turns out it's a patch that releases substances to help people sleep.
The district admits they dropped the ball on this and failed to notify parents until 2 weeks after the use of the sleeping patch was first reported. Some were so upset, and others telling me they reported this to Child Protective Services and even brought their children to the ER to get checked out.
She said it's a sleeping sticker. And I asked her, where do you get this? She's like, well, my teacher gives it to me for sleeping time.
Luviano says her daughter then claimed other classmates get it too.
The next day we went up to the school, we bought the evidence up there.
On September 24th, it was this sticker with a Starry Night-like design.
We filed a report.
But nearly 2 weeks went by and Luviano grew increasingly concerned. She decided to loop them in on her own by sending a mass text. Najla Abdullah got it. She began to question her 4-year-old, asking him if he ever got, quote, a special sticker.
He said, yes, mommy, I get a special sticker. I said, what does the sticker look like? He said, I get it right here on my hand, and it has the storms with the clouds and the stars and the moon.
Formal notification from Spring ISD came today, exactly 2 weeks after Luviano reported the incident. In a statement to ABC 13, they said they were aware of allegations that 2 staff members allegedly administered sleeping supplements to students on September 24th. They went on to say both have been placed on administrative leave pending an investigation.
Now,
ABC 13 caught parents confronting an assistant superintendent for the district outside the school today. We later spoke with him and another administrator who called the district's delayed communication a, quote, failure.
The Moroccan government stated 2 days of rainfall in September had exceeded yearly averages in several areas that get an average of less than 250 millimeters or 10 inches annually, including Tata, one of the areas hit the hardest. In Togonite, a village about 450 kilometers or 280 miles south of the capital of Rabat, more than 100 millimeters or 3.9 inches was recorded in a 24-hour period. The storm provided more rainfall than had been seen in decades, leaving striking images of bountiful water gushing through the Sahara sands amid castles and desert flora. In desert communities frequented by the many tourists who visit the Sahara, 4x4s motored through the puddles and residents surveyed the scene in awe. Quote, it's been 30 to 50 years since we've had this much rain in such a short space of time. Such rains, which meteorologists are calling extratropical storm, may indeed change the course of the region's weather in months and many years to come as the air retains more moisture, causing more evaporation and drawing more storms. 6 consecutive years of drought have posed challenges for much of the Morocco, forcing farmers to leave their fields, and the bounty of rainfall will likely help refill the large groundwater aquifers that lie beneath the desert and are reliant upon the supply of water in the desert communities. The region's dammed reservoirs reported refilling at record rates throughout September. However, it's unclear how far September's rains will go towards elevating the drought.
So all these chairs over here, all these seats, and you decide to sit with me like you know me. All these seats in here, and you sit right here with me like you know me. Why you sit with me like you know me? All these seats in here, why did you sit with me like you know me?
I probably should have left. I should have listened to everybody. But did I? No, because I'm hard-headed. Well, my house is currently flooding. And my neighbor's house is... What is that? I saw a big old fat log come out. My car, gone. It could have been up there, but I decided to be hard-headed. And now that poor car is holding on by a thread. I called the emergency. They said they're going to be on their way, but I don't know how many people are probably already calling them. I probably should have left. I should have listened to everybody. But did I? No, because I'm hard-headed.
Oh, God. We're cooked.
like American culture is undefeated worldwide, and you can literally tell because throw away everything about their culture that's cool to do some Black American. We ain't got no more Trevor Moores. We ain't got no more Steve-O's, no more Johnny Knoxvilles. We got white boys sitting in front of their computers trying to talk like Black people. I think when you really look at it from that perspective, you really realize how undefeated it's overseas trying to rap like in America because they want to be Black Americans so bad. Like, bro, I'm with the wave that we started. And I feel like that's why so much of American propaganda is so disproportionately put into making Black people feel like we doing something wrong all the time or like our culture is somehow degenerate. We really be running this and then letting run off with our because we don't see it as worthwhile. I think that that is not funny, but the way that throw everything that they love about their culture away to be like us, I think that that's hilarious.
That was quite a few videos today. Again, we had the very first video dealing with the teachers. I'm not exactly sure what to tell parents specifically out here. For the most part, that you have individuals that are doing this at schools. This is crazy. Well, technically, I'm not going to say I've never heard of this because there was a previous story that I did about a year or so ago where I think you had some teachers giving students NyQuil in order to put them to sleep. And that was another issue that was going down as well. Like I said before, I don't understand it. The school district needs to be sued. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. I'm not trying to hear about administrative leave. I'm tired of hearing about administrative leave. I'm tired of hearing schools be like, oh, well, it slipped our mind. No, because it shouldn't have been happening. You're giving these kids medication and you don't know what the effects could be for each and every child. You don't know what they're allergic to. You don't know how they could react. You don't know if they may break out. Like, you don't know what's going to happen. You're not doctors. You don't work in the medical field. You're a teacher. Stay in the teacher's place. So again, this is why I advocate and I tell parents all the time that, you need to go out here and talk to your kids. When they come home, have conversations. Stop just allowing your kids, picking up your kids, allowing them to come home and you not speak or say anything to them. I'm not saying that you need to full-fledged do a Batman interrogation, but you need to have a conversation with your kids to make sure that everything is everything, because obviously, as this story told you, everything is not everything. You got teachers out here, schools out here that will take unnecessary liberties because they don't know how to manage, they don't know how to control, they don't know how to pacify kids properly without the use of medication. Another story I just want to add in there, the whole thing with the Sahara. I think that is actually pretty awesome that you see certain climates that are, always pretty much drought ridden. They're coming back to life. And I'm pretty sure that's going to happen in a lot of places around the world. And I'm pretty sure you're going to have people out there that are going to link this directly back to the Bible and so on and so on. But I'm just looking at it from an outside perspective, outside of any of those things. Whenever things like this, when it deals with the nature, can take place and happen, and you're alive to be able to witness it, that is something to behold. This is, again, why I tell people that you should cherish each and every day because, different days or every day or whatnot or whatever, something new, something astonishing could happen that you've never seen, your parents never seen, your grandparents never seen, and so on and so on and so on. Also, to add into the fact that, we technically have 2 moons at this moment in time as well. Say this, for whatever reason, I'm just going to put it in this perspective. If that was a Black woman sitting directly in that seat, minding her business, eating her food, and some strange man from out of nowhere came to sit in front of her and she recorded the interaction and she went off on that guy, and rightfully so, you would have people backing her up 100%, stating that no man has the right to get into a woman's space. It doesn't matter if it's in private or public. Consent is all. It's going to be that whole thing, right? No problem. Right? We can even look at the gym culture of now, how, women decide if they want to get into the space of other men and how it is that those women want to act. And you see countless women online always siding with those women, no matter how deranged or how crazy that they are acting, right? So now let's look at the aspect that we have in front. A Black man is sitting there minding his business, hard day of work. You don't know mentally what he's going through, what he's thinking about, what he may have faced throughout the week or so on and so on. And he just wanted to come there and enjoy his food and then go home. Random person decides that they want to come up there, have on headphones, and have a drink directly with them and just sit directly across from them. I want to let y'all know that for a guy, that is very awkward. You're eating in public, minding your business, and some individual steps directly in front of you and is sitting there looking back and forth at you and then looking on their phone. That's a very weird type of behavior. And the guy, rightfully so, decided to go off. He was like, yo, out of all of these empty seats that are all over this place, you decided to sit here. Out of all the seats, you sat right here. And yeah, that made no sense. He had every right to go off. That's like, to better explain it, that's like a man going to the urinal. And you got 99 urinals. But for whatever reason, you're at urinal number 40 out of the 99. And then a guy comes in, looks at all the urinals, and then he wants to sit up there and pee directly right next to you. I got questions. I have questions. Why are you here? Why are you next to me? You got all the space in the world. The only way that a man is supposed to be next to you in a bathroom with urinals is if all the other urinals are taken. That's the etiquette that men normally have. Or even if there are empty urinals, you got A through D urinals, right? You're at urinal A. So then you have B, C, and D, right? The person would happen to take urinal C or urinal D, right? There's always going to be a space. I don't care what nobody says. This is just the etiquette that men have. And I'm stating that when it deals with restaurants, people need to have that exact same etiquette as well. If you see that somebody is sitting by themselves, allow them to sit by themselves. Don't decide that you're going to put your body directly into their space and just be there. Just reside in that moment. No, don't do that. Because if you do, you're going to have something like this happen and you're going to get embarrassed. But the funniest thing is there's tons of people online going off on a man saying that he was mean. This only happens to black guys. I just want people to understand. I just want people to know. This only happens to black men. It doesn't matter what it is that we do. Somehow, some way, we are always in the wrong. We cannot defend ourselves. We can't stand up for ourselves. We can't speak for ourselves. We can't do anything without it being a problem. Like I said, it's crazy. This whole world is crazy. Women out there, I just want to know why y'all so hard-headed. If men and other people tell you that you need to run, you need to go, you need to leave where it is that you are, you need to evacuate. It is unsafe. Chances are you are not going to survive. Why be so stupid? And I know some people in the comment section will probably come up, well, men are sitting there. It doesn't matter what men are doing. Men are built for this. Men have written a book on being stupid and surviving and doing all of these things that we're not supposed to be able to do just to prove a point. That's the job of men. It's not the job of anybody else. This is when I sat up there and tried to tell a lot of people that the whole look of being, a feminist, trying to be independent, saying that you are strong as men, you can do any and everything that a man can do. This is what that will get you. Stupid. And you see how at the end of the day, when she now has to face nature, she's like, I should have listened to whoever was trying to. No duh, Captain Obvious, no duh. So again, I'm just sending this message directly out there to a lot of you women who want to stay on this bandwagon of being like a feminist. You think that you're always right. You think that you know what you're doing. You don't. You don't. You don't. You don't. This is why a lot of y'all are stuck there during that hurricane when you should have sat up there and ran, and you should have left. You should have left. You should have just picked up. You should have just left. Left. I'm not kidding. You should have left. Like I said, this woman understands. And it's very difficult to actually find women to actually admit when it is that they're wrong, especially before the event happens. But she has to sit up there and come to the realization that she was wrong during the event, during the crisis. She said that she tried to call emergency and no telling when they're going to get there. They're not going to get there. They're not going to get there because there's more than likely other people that need to be rescued before you, like some people that are actually stuck at home, like the elderly. That's understandable. They can't move that quick. They're here and there mentally. Their health is, all over. That's completely understandable. You're a young, able-bodied woman, able to move to and from. There is no reason for you to be there. There is no excuses. There is no excuses to leave yourself in harm's way. No excuse. Last but not least, this brother is 100% right. This is not up for debate. I don't care what anybody has to sit up there and state. For the most part that I've seen people, South America, I've seen people, Canada, I've seen people in North America, I've seen people in Japan, the Vietnamese, I've seen people in the Philippines, right? Fiji Islands, whatever. All over the planet, there are people of a multitude of cultures who are emulating and copying pretty much everything that Black Americans do. And you have those out there that want to try to talk low on Black Americans, trying to, oh, y'all don't have no culture, y'all don't move nothing, nobody really actually listens to your music like that. You're trying to make yourselves the center of, and these are all people that are from the outside. These are all people from the outside. And I need people to recognize and realize that because Black Americans exist, this is why other people who are quote unquote melanated are able to move the way that they are able to move. This is why a lot of people are able to have the pride that they are able to have while coming to the United States and flash that pride all over the place. So you can be from Nigeria, you can be from Ghana, you can be from Kenya, you can be from Jamaica, you can be from wherever you set up there and came from. But because Black Americans did what they had to do here, it made everybody else's lives a lot more comfortable. But because of our sacrifice, people don't want to acknowledge and they want to look down upon everything that we have, in a sense, invested. We've invested that by way of bloodshed, tears, the bodies, the towns, the ashes, the graves, the slaves, everything. We've invested so much directly into this country just to get so little. And then on top of that, to receive so little just for other people to come here and to disrespect us. They come walking on the ground that literally our ancestors died on. And sitting there dancing, waving their flags and disrespecting. Acting as though that we're not important. That's some crazy work. That is some crazy work. But like I said before, where were all of these people at? Back in the 60s, the 50s, the 40s, the 30s, where were all of these people at? Silent, quiet. They weren't coming here waving flags, trying to dance, trying to do this and trying to do that. If they were here, they made sure that you didn't know that they existed. They made sure to put their heads directly low and they stayed looking directly at the ground, like the Asian Americans, because they didn't want no trouble. And they didn't want anybody to think that they were looking for any type of trouble. But now when the ghost is clear, when everything is cleaned up, when everything that was happening in history ain't happening no more, now everybody want to be jovial. People want to start dancing. People want to start laughing. People want to start yelling, cheering. People want to start having parades, waving their flags and trying to state how great wherever they came from is so great, even though that they're not there no more. Even though they fled, even though they ran. Like I said, Black Americans are the reason that a lot of folks here are able to do and express themselves the way that they are able to express themselves. It ain't no ifs, ands, or buts. Ain't nobody else do it but us. And that's just a fact.